Hello, movie friends. Welcome back to the show. We have a pretty stacked week of news. A lot of trailers were released. Box office is doing pretty well, and there's been some very cool developments and announcements in the film and television world. Let's get into it.
All right, let's talk about the box office first. And of course, Black Adam is still number one for the second week straight. However, it experienced a 63% decline in its box office, which is a huge drop. It made $25 million domestic, and right now it's right around $200 million global for its second week in theaters. I would say that it's not great news. Hopefully it has some legs because again, it was a $200 million budget for this film plus marketing, and you're splitting ticket costs, you're splitting the money with movie theaters. So this movie, again, needs to make like around $400 million, and hopefully it can pull that off, but it's seeming a little doubtful right now.
I called this. What did I say? I said it was going to drop.
We called it in our episode, too.
Yeah, people hit us in the comments saying it's going to make money. It's going to. I was like, it's going to drop next weekend. I'm telling you, this movie's going to top out at 300. That's what I predicted.
63% drop is huge for a comic book movie. It's huge. I think like Thor: Love and Thunder experienced a huge drop as well, but
they had a
$300 million opening weekend.
Monster weekend. Yeah. So Thor almost made its money back in its first weekend. Mm-hmm. So it looks. I mean, this isn't obviously bad news for Warner Brothers. Obviously, yes, they wanted more money, but I think that they feel confident with Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam. I feel confident with him as Black Adam going forward.
Yeah, in our episode, we talked about how this was the old managers and the old runners of DC made this movie, that we're entering a new realm. This movie was finished probably half a year ago.
Yeah. But I think also this is definitely a learning experience for what audiences want, and I think maybe this movie wasn't quite it. Obviously, the numbers are showing that. So they might want to make some adjustments going forward. And we'll see what the future DC movies look like. But I expect bigger return on investment for the future movies.
I think so, too. It's just word of mouth wasn't great for this film. Yeah. I think that's the problem. And I think that the next Black Adam film, next Man of Steel movies, I think they're going to be great. And I'm really excited to see Dwayne going forward in the DC. Next up for box office, we have Ticket to Paradise pulled in another $10 million this weekend.
Cruising.
Over $100 million global for that film, which is nuts. Pray for the Devil made $7 million domestic in its opening weekend. Smile pulled in another $5 million domestic. It's over like $130 million worldwide right now. What a successful film that is. Halloween Ends pulled in another $3 million domestic. It's at $60 million. And then Terrifier 2, this crazy, gory, independent horror film, expanded to 1,500 theaters, pulled in another $1.8 million domestic, which is an increased bump from its previous weekend. It's at $8 million domestic total. So Terrifier 2 is turning into a legit franchise.
Yeah, legit. And
bring a barf bag. I'm not watching this.
I'll watch it. Also, the specialty box office independent cinema is surging right now because it's nearing Oscar season. Decision to Leave has been doing really well. Park Chan-wook's new film. It's averaging a $40,000 per theater average, which is terrific, and it's going to expand. The Banshees of Inisherin also is experiencing a $35,000 per theater average. It's going to expand as well. So look to those movies probably next week, and the week after will be in the millions. They started out a slow rollout, so they're doing very well. If you can average over $25K a theater, that's fantastic news. Till also is a specialty release. It's not performing quite as well. It's averaging a $3,700 per theater average, so it's at 100 theaters right now and made $340,000 in its first weekend. They're going to expand it to 1,000 theaters next week, so we'll see how that does. But the other films will also get to a few hundred theaters and then up to 1,000 theaters.
Same thing with Tar, the Cate Blanchett film that's getting a wider release right now, and then Triangle of Sadness is getting its first release. And then
that's my next to watch.
So these are all great, small-budget, independent films from great filmmakers that are in theaters right now. So definitely go see Triangle of Sadness, The Banshees of Inisherin, Tar, Decision to Leave, and Till right now. They're all in theaters. Support small-budget films. We need these movies to do well.
And if you don't see them on a Showtime, any theaters near you, that's because the release is still expanding. The process of going wider is continuing, so keep an eye out the next week or the week after. Then check on the Showtimes to see if they're closer to you.
Decision to Leave is excellent. It's in my top 5 of the year. Tar was phenomenal. I haven't seen Banshees yet. I'm going to see it this weekend.
I saw it the other day. It was unbelievable.
And then Triangle of Sadness, I want to see hopefully next week.
The director of Force Majeure.
It's supposed to be really funny and really good.
Mm-hmm.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
It looks pretty silly. Now, let's get into some movie news in addition to all that. The Pale Blue Eye. We got our first teaser trailer from Scott Cooper's latest film starring Christian Bale. The film is an adaptation of Louis Bayard's novel, which revolves around the attempt to solve a series of murders that took place in 1830 as the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. Bale plays veteran detective Augustus Landau, who investigates the killings. He's assisted by a fastidious cadet with disdain for the military and a penchant for poetry. The cadet's name is Edgar Allan Poe.
I saw Christian Bale was doing press for his new film, and he was talking about this, and he said that Harry Melling is one of the best actors he's ever worked with.
Yeah, and if you all remember, he played Dudley Dursley in the Harry Potter franchise. He was in the Coen Brothers, one of their short films that they did on Netflix. So he's been popping up in movies here and there, and he's also in Macbeth.
Yeah,
he's got a major role in that. The Joel movie,
he's great
Joel Coen movie. He's phenomenal. I had no idea how good of an actor he was until I saw Macbeth, and then
I saw him in the Coen Brothers anthology, he has an unbelievable monologue. He's great.
He is a tremendous actor.
And for Christian Bale to say you're one of the best actors I've worked with, Christian Bale said he greatly looked forward to working with him each day.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see him because he might be the most talented actor that came out of the Harry Potter world.
Yeah, and Scott Cooper, amazing director. I love the period setting. Sign me up, Victorian murder. I'm all for it. Let's go.
Then we got also a succession.
Oh, you got this, man.
I can't say this word ever.
Succession. Oh, yeah.
Season 4 teaser trailer. Logan Roy is going to be cleaning up shop, it looks like. In this, he looks great.
They played it before the Dragon finale. It was genius.
House of the Dragon finale.
It was genius to play it.
It was really good.
Yeah. Next up, James Gunn and Peter Safran have officially been hired as the head of DC film production. We mentioned it earlier this week. I think it's a great move. I think two men who are passionate about comic books, passionate about the films, and also James Gunn is someone who really cares about the theater experience and getting people to go into cinemas to watch movies. I think that he's a person that would be a great leader in this environment for DC and Warner Brothers.
It's film and TV. So they'll be running the DC films and TV department, which is really cool news. But obviously, James Gunn still has quite a bit of work to do for Marvel with his obligations with them. Then I'm sure he'll be full-time on the DC film stuff.
They're just doing post on Guardians 3 now. So he's probably just got like 6 more months on that.
Next up, we have quite a bit of Henry Cavill news. We love this. Obviously, we all know he's back as Superman, and we got a great quote from him that he said, "Right now, I want hope, optimism, and joy." And people, of course, are using this quote to go after Zack Snyder because they have nothing better to do. They're saying, like, all the Snyder's fans, as soon as they heard Henry Cavill say joy. I think that it's a great quote because Superman's always represented like the best of humanity, and I think hope, optimism, and joy are great thematic elements for a future story with Superman because, like he said in a bunch of interviews recently because he's getting asked about it, he's like, I never lost hope that I'd be Superman again. I've always been optimistic, and now I think he's just so joyful and happy to be Superman again that's what he's going to bring to the character.
But also, I would say that's how the character arc finished with Justice League when he returned. It was like, I think the fully formed Kal-El Superman, and the last 20 minutes of that movie, it was like everything they were working and building towards for the character arc to finally reach this familiar Superman that everybody knows from the past. I feel like the movie ended with that.
Yeah, I feel that too. But all the headlines or the news are like from this quote, "Oh, Henry Cavill snaps back at Zack Snyder." It's like, what are you talking about?
He had him on he did like a press interview for MTV, and Zack Snyder sent a video.
They both said they love each other. About each other. It's crazy the way people manipulate actors' quotes or directors' quotes to like attack.
They pit them against each other.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Like they love each other. Are you kidding me? He made him Superman. He cast him as Superman.
Yeah, he didn't have to cast him.
And just because the character's joyful doesn't mean he doesn't belong in Zack Snyder's world.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Also, I feel like Snyder doesn't get credit for casting Jason Momoa, casting Gal Gadot, casting Henry Cavill, casting Ezra before Ezra went off the deep end, but then Ray Fisher as well. He did an excellent job casting these characters, and I think that people really love Momoa, and I think that people really love Gal Gadot.
I concur. More Henry Cavill news. He is going to be working with Guy Ritchie again for the second time. Remember, he was in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is a personal favorite of mine. We love that movie so much. He'll be reuniting with him for a World War II action movie called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. It's also going to star He's a Gonzalez, so basically just a couple of hot people in a cool movie.
Very attractive people. Oh my God. Can they just start making out already? Next up, Enola Holmes 2 has finally announced its release date of November 4th on Netflix. That's our niece's birthday.
Yeah, they had the premiere and everything. So that's the final bit of news, unfortunately, for Henry Cavill in this episode.
Next up, we have some Kanye West news. This is pretty rare for us. Now, Kanye West claimed in
his recent tirade of wild things he's been saying.
Some interview, he said that he says that he came up with the idea for Django Unchained and that Jamie Foxx and Tarantino stole the idea from him and made the movie. And so Tarantino was on a talk show, but I can't remember what he's promoting, but he has a quote for this. So Tarantino says, this is his quote, "Well, there's no truth to the idea that Kanye West came up with the idea of Django." And then he told me that, wow, that's a really great idea. So Tarantino said that Kanye approached him and other directors to make short film for his College Dropout album. And then, so Tarantino said, before I ever met Kanye, I had the idea for Django for a long time. Kanye West wanted to do a giant movie version of College Dropout, so he wanted to get big directors to do different tracks from the album and then release it in his own giant movie. So we used it as an excuse to meet each other. We met each other, had a really good time. He did have the idea for that video, but that it would be basically him playing a slave, and the whole thing was the slave narrative was where he was singing the Gold Digger song, and so that's what Kanye West was referring to. Clearly, Tarantino, Django Unchained is a much different vision. Also,
it's a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, he had the idea for Django a long time ago, and it was basically inspired by the movie Django.
Yeah,
so
they have the original Django.
Kanye West did not come up with the idea for Django Unchained.
Yeah, well, that's pretty wild. Moving on, we have some MCU news. A couple things to talk about. First off, Black Panther Wakanda Forever had its Los Angeles premiere this weekend, and critics are calling it an excellent film, beautiful, cathartic, very emotional. It releases on November 11th, so make sure to check that out. We're going to see it early. We'll be posting our review and an episode on it the Monday following the release on November 11th, and can't wait to check it out. Also, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania released its first trailer.
Wait, it wasn't Spy Kids 4?
I guess it's another. Yeah.
Honestly, I watched the trailer.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch it.
I watched the trailer and I was really not impressed, honestly. And
the backgrounds, I don't know if they're doing all CGI backgrounds or a lot of the digital
both.
LCD backgrounds.
But there's shots in there where it's just clearly green screen.
I feel like I can see the lighting right above their heads. It's so apparent.
And also, it's just another movie where the conflict is starting by a character making a piece of technology they shouldn't have made that starts things and kicks it into high gear with the daughter making this new, satellite basically for the quantum realm. And
also,
she never thought it was a bad idea.
They recast the daughter. It's a new actress. Yeah, than from Endgame. It's a different actress.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah. Well, that poor actress.
I know,
from
she
the
probably
other
thought
one.
she was going to be in
She's
Ant-Man movies.
Oh my God, poor thing. That's so sad. But I was really unimpressed by the trailer.
Me too.
Jonathan Majors is really cool.
And we're getting his introduction as Kang since Loki, and so this because I guess he's the new big bad of the MCU.
Yeah.
But I watched the trailer. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna see this.
I watched Jonathan Majors' Men's Health workout routine.
Yeah, I'm more interested in that.
I was way more interested in that than I was in the Ant-Man and the Wasp. That guy is gigantic. His routine is insane.
Absolutely ripped.
He's a beast. I watched that and I was like, this is way better than the Ant-Man trailer.
He got so ripped for Creed, and then all the tweets lately have been like, Ant-Man's gonna stand no chance. Ant-Man's gonna die. So yeah, we're more interested in his workout videos than Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
It's a great video. Check it out.
Final bit of MCU news. VisionQuest is going to be a new spin-off series. It's in development right now for the MCU, starring Vision and what happened to White Vision. Where is he at? I swear to God. Anthony, look at him. Look at Anthony right now.
What happened to White Vision? I'm sorry.
Will he reconnect with Wanda? And it's already been announced that Wanda's coming back. We don't know when. So I think, it's cool to have Wanda back, but it just kind of makes me bummed that there are no stakes in the MCU right now in terms of characters dying. I'm sure they're trying to bring Tony Stark back, so I think they're getting rid of a lot of the emotionality of the movies and the characters if there's no stakes to them living or dying, which I understand happens in the comics.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, man. But I mean, I don't know. I guess
You don't want to watch a VisionQuest movie show?
That hit me. I mean, I did not expect that.
I put together the news this episode.
Sorry. I don't know why I find it so funny.
He's blind reacting to that.
Oh man.
All right, let's get out of the MCU. Talk about some other stuff.
Next up, Natasha Lyonne has a new project where she delves into a murder mystery in the teaser for Ryan Johnson's Poker Face. This is a new TV series also co-starring Adrian Brody. It looks really cool.
Is it Apple TV or Netflix?
No, I believe it's... I can't remember the studio.
I know he made a deal with Netflix.
I think it's Netflix, but it looks really cool. They shot it on film, and it looks fantastic. She's really talented, very funny. I think she's a terrific actor, and for a lead for a detective mystery, private detective show, it looks like a great tone. And she fits the bill perfectly, I think.
Peacock.
It's
going to be on Peacock. Moving on to origin story of the week. Sausage Party, Foodtopia.
You asked for it. You're getting
Origins. It's a prequel series coming to Amazon based on the animated film Sausage Party, the raunchy rated R one. If you're wondering where the food products came from, now we'll find out in the prequel series for Sausage Party. Foodtopia Origins,
the beloved classic.
Everyone's been asking for a prequel series to Sausage Party. Where did they learn their voices? Where did the sausages get?
What factory did they come from?
So yeah,
oh man,
all right, cool.
That's funny.
Yep. Where's it gonna be in the factory?
I don't know, man. I don't know. There actually is more MCU news. So Guardians of the Galaxy released a holiday special trailer. Co-starring with Kevin Bacon. It looks really cute.
It looks funny.
It looks very cute. It's the Guardians crew take Peter to Earth to try and cheer him up. And a couple of them get the idea to kidnap Kevin Bacon because they know he loves him in Footloose. So I thought it was very charming and very cute.
Is it still the greatest movie of all time? It never was.
It never was.
It seems like Drax and also... Mantis are going to kind of be the leads of the show because they were like focused heavily in the trailer.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And so they're trying to bring him Christmas spirit because he's really sad.
It looks very cute.
I don't know how long it's going to be. Probably like an hour, maybe.
Probably 40 minutes or so.
Next up, we have... I'm going to read this one. I'm going to skip one because I love these filmmakers.
Go for it, man.
1899. It's a new Netflix horror series coming from the creators of Dark. They released a new trailer. It looks incredible. If any of you have seen Dark or you listen to my reviews of that show, it's an excellent show from Germany, Netflix original. Such a great horror show, but now they have a new series coming out very soon called 1899. All they really had to say was from the creators of Dark, and they signed me up. I cannot wait to watch this.
I remember hearing you react to that show in the living room watching it, and you would just be like, oh my God.
Bro, it is so good because streaming shows are very meh.
Yeah.
80% of them are just like,
if they're streaming originals,
I can't really watch them. They're not really well made. They kind of have like a network vibe now.
Yeah. You know what I just started watching? The Patient with Steve Carell and Donald Gleason.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I didn't like it.
I stopped after like 4 episodes.
I stopped after 4 episodes too. I'm like, this is so boring.
I get it, but I think it would have worked way better as a movie.
It seems like a 2-hour movie that's been cut into 30 to 20-minute episodes.
I think a lot of studios are just doing that because TV's becoming so much more important than films.
I was shocked by like an episode would end and I'd be like, did anything even happen in that episode?
Yeah, it's a great idea. But I think
it feels like a movie.
It should be a movie.
Yeah.
I felt the same way. I'm like, I don't really want to get into this. If there's going to be 4 seasons of him being in the basement, like, how are they going to do this? But I skipped a bit of information for another bit of news. Nobody's Ilya Nashuler is directing John Cena and Idris Elba in a new action movie called Heads of State. The plot is pretty much under wraps, but I believe it's going to be kind of like
bicep on bicep.
Air Force One meets like what's the Gerard Butler ones? The Olympus Has Fallen.
I love those.
I'm guessing it's like going to be something like that.
The Fallen franchise.
So maybe my guess is Idris is going to be the president and John Cena is going to be his bodyguard. Or maybe they're both bodyguards, or because there's no way both these
they're president and vice president,
insanely jacked, handsome guys are politicians. There's no way John Cena's a freaking politician.
By the way, Olympus Has Fallen is awesome.
Dude, that movie's sick.
Love that movie.
So
I
sick.
love that movie.
That's the first one, right?
Yeah.
What, dude? I loved it.
It's insane. Anton Fuqua.
The first 20 minutes, I'm like, what's this going to be like? Holy crap, that movie is
when you wait it out, man.
What an action movie.
Once it gets going. Next up, Ryan Gosling's upcoming film, The Fall Guy, which is being directed by the director of Bullet Train. I'm sorry. What's his name?
Crap.
I'm sorry. I forgot his name. They
just did that episode too.
But Aaron Taylor Johnson has also been cast in the film. It's an upcoming action comedy. I think that after working with Aaron Taylor Johnson, he realized, yeah, this guy's great at acting, and I got to get him in my next movie.
David Leitch.
David Leitch, thank you.
They're filming it right now in Australia. Next up, we have a new Wendell and Wild trailer.
Looks so cute.
What's this? I haven't seen this.
It's going to be on Netflix. It's stop motion.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it looks really terrific.
I really love the resurgence of stop motion.
Yeah,
I
me
cannot
too.
wait to see Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Yeah, me either. Next up, there is a new trailer for She Said, starring Carey Mulligan and Zoe Kazan. It follows the accounts of the Harvey Weinstein scandal and the reporters and journalists who broke the story and got many women and victims to speak out in a group. Many of them were afraid to speak out privately on their own, but these women convinced the victims to band together and come out together to break the case. It's a really great trailer. It reminds me of Spotlight, the filmmaking and the approach to it. It looks terrific, and it's going to be coming out later this month.
Wow. Very, very cool. Now,
Also,
final bit of news.
something more cheerful. I can't wait.
Santa Claus trailer has been released starring Tim Allen reprising
back.
his role. I don't get why they'll let him be Santa Claus, but they won't let him be Buzz Lightyear. It makes no sense.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because of the negative reaction to him not being Buzz.
That's why they want him to be Santa
I
Claus?
think so.
That's why
because
this got...
a lot of people weren't happy with him not being recast by
Even
Chris
Tom
Evans.
Hanks spoke out against
Yeah.
it. Tom Hanks was like, I don't understand why they didn't let him be Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, it
I
didn't-
get it's an origin story, it's a prequel, but you still
It's
could have
still
made
the
him
voice.
sound
Yeah.
younger. And I get it's like the movie based on Toy Story.
Chris
so it's-
Evans is hot right now.
It's different. It's like
he's like so hot right
it's
now.
the movie that Andy saw that inspired the toy, but I still think that I think that was a major part of the box office failure for for Lightyear. I mean,
Yeah,
is
get
Tim
it
Allen-
right, man. It's Lightyear.
Lightyear origins. It's not really an origin story, and he doesn't really do much. And then we stole the idea from Interstellar, kind of. And also,
There's a cat. The cat is the lead character.
you know, they also ripped off what's it called? I love the movie, the Mark Watney Mars one.
Oh shoot, The Martian.
The Martian. They ripped off The Martian
Yeah.
too with the
The thing with the movie is the robot cat figured out every problem.
robot cat was the
It was like a genius.
only good part- only good
why
part of
is
the
the
movie.
robot cat companion a supercomputer?
literally my only good.
It literally
my favorite
did the
part.
math for his journey. It did the math for his
Hey
mission.
man, plot. But anyways, I think that movie would have
sorry.
performed so much better if Tim Allen was back. Like, imagine hearing Tim Allen's voice as Buzz in that trailer.
Yeah.
I think it would have made $400
Kids
million.
recognize voices just as easily as adults
Yeah.
do, and I think that not having his voice definitely played a factor in it. And so, but I was so confused why they didn't have him. And then they announced the Santa Claus like a couple months after Lightyear came out. Then I was like, okay, I guess they like him now again. I don't understand.
Man. I don't know.
I don't know. Because I didn't think he would be Santa Claus again.
It's weird, man.
Yeah.
Hollywood's weird. That wraps up movie news number 71. Thanks so much for tuning in around the world. Episodes this week. Tomorrow, Monday, we have a special spooky Halloween episode. We dressed up in everything. It's going to be The Exorcist, a cursed film, basically talking about not the movie so much itself, but the production and all these cursed and
It's like
wacky
true crime version of
true
our
crime
podcast.
things that
Yeah.
happen with the film and deaths connected to the film. It's really eerie, really creepy because it might be the most cursed film of all time. So definitely check it out. It was a really fun episode to do, and we dressed up. I was Donnie Darko, Anthony was Top Gun Maverick, Pete
yeah.
Mitchell is a blast. So tune into that. Then the Thursday after that, we're going to do best baseball movies because we're in the World Series right now. So we figured why not talk about baseball movies because we love them so much. And we got to figure out some other stuff to do because House of the Dragon's over. So maybe we'll get some bonus episodes up.
I'm going to do a review of Tar
Oh, nice.
for Tuesday.
Nice. All right. So
Yeah.
listen to Anthony's review of Tar. Take care, everyone.
See you next time.
Thank you for watching Raiders of the Lost podcast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, notifications for sure. Listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you can listen to podcasts, and be sure to check out this other content we have on our YouTube channel.